Ladies and gentlemen, we delve into a subject that unfortunately many individuals encounter in their personal or professional lives. Narcissistic personalities thrive on control. To them, control isn't just a preference, it's their lifeline. But what happens when that control begins to wane? The answer is unsettling. They resort to manipulation. Let us first understand what makes narcissists tick. At their core, they crave validation, admiration, and dominance over others. Losing control threatens their carefully constructed image, so they lash out with manipulative tricks to regain their grip. Today, I'll walk you through 3 common tactics they employ, and more importantly, how you can identify and counteract them. Knowledge is your greatest weapon against narcissistic manipulation. By recognizing these tricks and standing firm in your truth, you not only protect yourself, but also pave the way for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. To truly grasp how a narcissist operates and why they resort to manipulation, we must first delve into their psyche. Narcissism is a personality trait marked by an inflated sense of self-importance, a constant need for admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. These characteristics form the foundation of their behavior, shaping how they view themselves and interact with the world around them. And then, at their core, narcissists are deeply insecure individuals. While they may project confidence, dominance, and superiority, their inner world is often filled with fragility and fear of rejection. This contradiction between their external demeanor and internal reality is what drives much of their behavior. Control becomes their mechanism for maintaining the illusion of superiority and shielding themselves from feelings of inadequacy. Control is not merely a preference for narcissists. It's a necessity. They use it to sustain their inflated self-maintenance and manage their relationships. To them, relationships are transactional. People are seen not as independent beings with their own needs and desires, but as tools to validate their self-worth. They expect others to meet their emotional needs, reinforce their ego, and comply with their desires. He says, when someone doesn't fulfill these expectations or challenges their authority, the narcissist perceives it as a threat. This need for control manifests in various ways. Narcissists may exert dominance in conversations, manipulate outcomes in their favor, or establish dependency to ensure their influence remains intact. They often choose tactics that exploit others' emotions, vulnerabilities, and insecurities. Over time, their actions can create a dynamic where their victims feel trapped, doubting their own judgment and choices. Key aspect of narcissistic behavior is their inability to handle rejection or criticism. Even minor disagreements or perceived slights can provoke intense reactions. This hypersensitivity stems from their deep-seated fear of inadequacy. When someone resists their control or points out their flaws, they experience what psychologists term narcissistic injury. This injury triggers feelings of shame or humiliation, which the narcissist cannot tolerate. To cope, they often lash out, blame others, or employ manipulative tactics to regain their sense of dominance. It's also important to recognize the spectrum of narcissism. While everyone may exhibit some narcissistic traits, occasionally, individuals with narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, take these traits to an extreme. For them, the behavior is not occasional but consistent and pervasive. It affects their relationships, work dynamics, and overall interactions, making it a defining aspect of their identity. Narcissists often use charm, charisma, and confidence to draw people in. At the beginning of a relationship, they may appear attentive, loving, and generous. This phase, often referred to as love bombing, is designed to create a strong emotional connection and dependency. However, as the relationship progresses, their need for control becomes evident. They may belittle, gaslight, or manipulate their partner to maintain their dominance. When they feel they are losing control, their reactions can become even more extreme. They might resort to guilt tripping, excessive flattery, or dramatic displays to win back the person's loyalty. If these tactics fail, they may turn to more destructive methods, such as spreading falsehoods or using intimidation to regain their power. But these behaviors are not random, but deliberate, calculated moves to preserve their sense of authority and prevent their carefully constructed facade from crumbling. Understanding these dynamics is essential for anyone dealing with a narcissist. By recognizing their patterns and motivations, you can begin to separate their actions from your own worth. Their need for control is not a reflection of your inadequacy, but a testament to their inability to see others as equals. This awareness is the first step toward breaking free from their influence and reclaiming your own sense of self. Narcissistic behavior is rooted in insecurity, a need for control, and a distorted view of relationships. By understanding these underlying motivations, you can better equip yourself to navigate interactions with narcissists and protect your emotional well-being. When a narcissist feels their control slipping, they don't retreat gracefully. Instead, they often double down, employing a range of manipulative tactics designed to regain their dominance. Understanding these tactics is critical not only for identifying manipulation, but also for protecting your emotional and mental well-being. Let's explore these 3 tricks in detail. Emotional manipulation is one of the narcissist's most insidious tools. It is subtle, calculated, and often tailored to exploit the victim's vulnerabilities. When faced with the possibility of losing control, a narcissist may deploy a range of emotionally manipulative strategies, such as guilt tripping, love bombing, or playing the victim. Guilt tripping involves making you feel responsible for their distress or dissatisfaction. They may say things like, "After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me," or, "Oh, I thought you cared about me." These statements are crafted to induce guilt and make you question whether you're in the wrong for asserting your boundaries or stepping away. Love bombing, on the other hand, is a sudden, overwhelming display of affection, praise, or attention. It's a tactic they use to pull you back into their sphere of influence, making you feel special and needed. This can be particularly confusing because it contrasts sharply with their prior behavior, leaving you second-guessing your decision to distance yourself. Finally, playing the victim is a classic narcissistic move. They might exaggerate their hardships or fabricate stories to gain sympathy, painting themselves as misunderstood or mistreated. Their goal is to shift the focus away from their behavior and place the burden of reconciliation on you. When emotional manipulation doesn't work, narcissists often escalate to smear campaigns. This tactic involves spreading false or exaggerated stories about you to others, often targeting your friends, family, or professional networks. By discrediting you, they aim to isolate you and maintain control over the narrative. Smear campaigns are particularly harmful because they attack your reputation, a deeply personal aspect of your identity. The narcissist may twist facts, share private information, or outright fabricate lies to portray you in a negative light. For example, they might claim you're unstable and grateful or even abusive. Their aim is to make others question your character and loyalty, thereby weakening your support system. A hallmark of a smear campaign is its strategic nature. The narcissist carefully chooses their audience, often targeting individuals who are likely to believe their version of events. This tactic can leave you feeling isolated, confused, and defensive as you struggle to refute the lies while maintaining your composure. The most challenging aspect of a smear campaign is resisting the urge to engage in their game. Narcissists thrive on drama and conflict. And by reacting emotionally, you may inadvertently play into their hands. The best way to counter this tactic is by staying calm, maintaining your integrity, and relying on the truth to speak for itself. If emotional manipulation and smear campaigns fail, narcissists may resort to more overt forms of control, such as threats and intimidation. These can range from subtle warnings to direct ultimatums, all designed to instill fear and make you comply. Threats can take various forms. In personal relationships, they might involve withholding affection, financial support, or access to shared resources. In professional settings, the narcissist might threaten to sabotage your career or reveal sensitive information. Sometimes the threats are not verbal but implied through tone, body language, or actions, leaving you constantly on edge, and sometimes leaving you constantly on edge. Intimidation is about creating an environment where you feel powerless. A narcissist might use their authority, influence, or knowledge of your insecurities to make you doubt your ability to stand up to them. This tactic often leaves you feeling trapped, as if the consequences of resisting are too great to bear. The key to countering threats and intimidation lies in recognizing them for what they are, attempts to regain control. By standing firm and refusing to be swayed, you demonstrate that their tactics no longer have power over you. Surrounding yourself with a strong support network and seeking professional advice can also help you navigate these challenges safely. When a narcissist senses a loss of control, they are likely to resort to emotional manipulation, smear campaigns, and threats or intimidation to reassert their dominance. These tactics are designed to confuse, isolate, and weaken you, making it easier for them to regain influence. By understanding these patterns and remaining steadfast in your boundaries, you can protect yourself from their manipulation and take back control of your life. Awareness and resilience are your greatest allies in overcoming the challenges posed by narcissistic behavior. When dealing with a narcissist, especially during the moments when they feel their control slipping, the effects of their manipulative tactics can be profoundly damaging to your emotional and mental well-being. Understanding the psychological impact of these tactics is crucial, as it helps you recognize how their behavior influences you and equips you to take proactive steps to protect your inner peace. One of the most immediate effects of narcissistic manipulation is confusion. Narcissists are masters of distortion, often twisting facts, shifting blame, or gaslighting you into questioning your reality. Gaslighting, in particular, is a psychological tactic where they deny your experiences or feelings, making you doubt your memory, perception, or judgment. You might confront a narcissist about their hurtful behavior, only to hear responses like, "You're overreacting," or "That never happened." Over time, these dismissive comments chip away at your confidence and leave you feeling uncertain about what's true and what's not. This confusion serves their purpose. It keeps you off balance and easier to control. This erosion of self-trust often leads to pervasive self-doubt. You may begin to second-guess your decisions, question your instincts, and seek validation from the very person causing your distress. This creates a vicious cycle, as the more you doubt yourself, the more you rely on the narcissist for guidance, further cementing their control over you. Dealing with a narcissist is emotionally draining. Their manipulative tactics, whether it's guilt-tripping, love-bombing, or smear campaigns, demand a constant response from you. You find yourself perpetually on edge, trying to navigate their moods, counter their accusations, or defend yourself against their attacks. This constant state of emotional vigilance can lead to chronic stress and fatigue. You might feel as though you're walking on eggshells, always anticipating their next move. Over time, this level of stress takes a toll on your mental health, contributing to feelings of anxiety, depression, and even physical symptoms such as headaches, sleep disturbances, or digestive issues. The narcissist's tendency to escalate conflicts or create drama ensures that there's little room for peace or recovery. Their need for control means they thrive on chaos, leaving you emotionally depleted and unable to focus on your own well-being. Significant impact of narcissistic tactics is the isolation they create. When narcissists feel they are losing control, they often attempt to isolate you from your support network. Through smear campaigns, they spread rumors or falsehoods about you, creating rifts between you and your friends, family, or colleagues. This isolation isn't always external, it can also manifest internally. As you grapple with the confusion, self-doubt, and emotional exhaustion they create, you may begin to withdraw from others out of shame or fear of not being believed. You might feel misunderstood or worry that sharing your experiences will make you appear weak or irrational. The result is a profound sense of loneliness. This isolation further strengthens the narcissist's hold over you as you come to rely on them even more for emotional connection, despite the fact that they are the source of your distress. Over time, the psychological impact of narcissistic manipulation can lead to a loss of identity. Narcissists often devalue your opinions, dismiss your achievements, and undermine your sense of self-worth. They may push you to conform to their expectations, erasing your individuality in the process. You may find yourself prioritizing their needs and desires over your own, suppressing your true self to avoid conflict or criticism. This gradual erosion of your identity leaves you feeling disconnected from who you are, unsure of your values, goals, and aspirations. The long-term effects of dealing with narcissistic manipulation can be akin to psychological trauma. Experience can lead to a diminished sense of self-worth, fear of intimacy, or reluctance to trust new relationships. The psychological impact of a narcissist's tactics is profound, affecting every aspect of your emotional and mental health. From confusion and self-doubt to isolation and loss of identity, the damage they inflict can feel overwhelming. However, awareness is the first step toward healing. Recognize their behavior for what it is, manipulation, not a reflection of your worth. Seek support from trusted friends, family, or professionals to rebuild your confidence and reclaim your identity. Remember, while the scars of narcissistic manipulation may run deep, they do not define you. With time, self-compassion, and resilience, you can overcome their impact and rediscover your strength. Let's recognize your strength. When faced with a narcissist's tactics, the path to freedom lies in reclaiming your power and regaining control of your emotional and mental well-being. While narcissists are adept at manipulation, their power over you diminishes when you are equipped with the right strategies. Here we'll explore effective ways to identify, resist, and ultimately overcome their influence. Boundaries are your first line of defense against narcissistic manipulation. Narcissists thrive on overstepping limits to gain control, so it's crucial to define and enforce your personal boundaries clearly. Start by identifying the areas in your life where you feel the most intrusion, be it emotional, physical, or even digital space. Once you've pinpointed these areas, establish clear, non-negotiable rules. For instance, if a narcissist frequently calls or texts at inappropriate times to demand your attention, let them know that you'll only respond during certain hours. Consistency is key. Narcissists often test boundaries to see if they can break them. Stand firm, even if it feels uncomfortable or triggers their anger. Remember, setting boundaries is not about controlling their behavior, but about protecting your own emotional well-being. Narcissists are skilled at exploiting emotional vulnerabilities to elicit reactions that serve their agenda. They may provoke you with criticism, guilt, or dramatic displays to regain control. Detaching emotionally is a powerful way to disarm their tactics. When faced with their provocations, practice emotional neutrality. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a moment to pause, breathe, and assess the situation objectively. Ask yourself, what is their goal here? How can I respond without giving them the reaction they're seeking? Adopting this approach helps you maintain composure and prevents them from feeding off your emotions. Over time, they may realize their usual tricks no longer yield the desired results, reducing their influence over you. Isolation is a common tactic narcissists use to maintain control, so building a strong support network is essential. Surround yourself with people who understand your situation and can provide encouragement, perspective, and validation. Share your experiences with trusted friends, family members, or even support groups. Talking about what you're going through can help you process your emotions and gain clarity. Additionally, hearing others' perspectives can reaffirm that you're not alone and that your feelings are valid. If you're struggling to navigate the complexities of narcissistic manipulation, consider seeking professional help. A therapist or counselor can provide tools and strategies to cope, build resilience, and regain your confidence. Narcissists often rely on gaslighting and other manipulative tactics to make you doubt your perceptions and instincts. Rebuilding trust in your intuition is a vital step in reclaiming your independence. Pay attention to your feelings and reactions when interacting with a narcissist. If something feels off or manipulative, trust that instinct. Your intuition is a powerful guide, and acknowledging it helps you resist their attempts to distort your reality. To strengthen your intuition, practice mindfulness and self-reflection. Spend time identifying patterns in the narcissist's behavior and how it affects you. This awareness will sharpen your ability to recognize manipulation and respond accordingly. Self-care is not just a luxury, it's a necessity when dealing with a narcissist. Their tactics can be emotionally exhausting, so taking time to nurture your physical, mental, and emotional well-being is critical. Incorporate activities that bring you joy and relaxation into your routine, such as exercise, meditation, journaling, or hobbies. These practices help you recharge, build resilience, and maintain a sense of normalcy amidst the chaos. Focus on self-compassion, acknowledge your strengths, celebrate small victories, and remind yourself that you deserve respect and kindness. The more you invest in yourself, the less power the narcissist has to undermine your confidence. The most effective way to resist a narcissist's influence is to limit contact or cut ties entirely. This approach, often referred to as going no contact, involves severing all forms of communication to protect yourself from further manipulation. If cutting ties isn't possible, such as in co-parenting or workplace situations, establish boundaries for limited interaction. Keep communication focused on necessary topics, remain factual, and avoid engaging in emotional discussion. Disengaging from the narcissist doesn't mean you're weak. It's a sign of strength and self-respect. By removing yourself from their control, you create space to heal and rebuild your life on your terms. Empowering yourself to resist narcissistic manipulation requires awareness, resilience, and intentional action. Resetting boundaries, detaching emotionally, building a support system, trusting your intuition, prioritizing self-care, and limiting contact, you can break free from their influence and reclaim your independence. The power dynamic shifts when you no longer allow the narcissist to dictate your thoughts, emotions, or actions. Every step you take toward empowerment reinforces your self-worth and paves the way for a healthier, more fulfilling life. Understanding and overcoming the manipulation of a narcissist is no easy journey, but it is one that leads to personal freedom, emotional resilience, and a reclaiming of your self-worth. Narcissists rely on control to maintain their fragile sense of self, and when they sense that control slipping, they resort to manipulation, smear campaigns, and intimidation to keep you tethered. The psychological toll of their tactics can leave you feeling confused, isolated, and doubting your own reality. The power they wield over you diminishes the moment you recognize their patterns and take deliberate steps to resist. By setting firm boundaries, detaching emotionally, building a strong support system, and prioritizing self-care, you can dismantle their influence and restore balance to your life. The tactics of a narcissist are a reflection of their inner insecurities, not your value or worth. Your decision to stand firm, trust your intuition, and prioritize your well-being is an act of courage and self-love. While their attempt to control may be persistent, your commitment to your freedom and happiness will always be stronger. So, the Freedom and Freedom Map. Take this knowledge with you not as a burden but as a tool to empower yourself and others who may face similar challenges. The journey to liberation may be challenging, but it is a testament to your strength and resilience. As you move forward, may you always remember that your worth is not dictated by anyone else's perception or manipulation. It is yours to define and protect.